The persistent ding of my phone startled me from my reverie as the clock struck 9 p.m. I glanced at the screen. Unknown number. I hesitated for a moment before answering, expecting silence on the other end. But to my surprise, a familiar voice spoke, soft yet clear. "Hello, darling, it's me, your mother." My heart skipped a beat as confusion and fear intertwined in my mind. My mother had passed away 6 months ago from a sudden illness. How was this possible? Was it a sick prank or my mind playing tricks on me? Nonetheless, I responded, "Mom, how are you calling me?" You. My voice trailed off, unable to comprehend the situation. She chuckled gently, a sound I hadn't heard in so long. "Oh darling, don't worry about that. I just wanted to hear your voice to assure myself that you're okay." Tears welled up in my eyes as a flood of emotions washed over me. I missed her every day, her warmth, her advice, her love. And now, here she was, speaking to me as if she had never left. We talked for what felt like hours, discussing mundane things and reminiscing about old times. It felt comforting yet eerie, knowing that the woman on the other end of the line was a ghost from my past. After we said our goodbyes, I sat in silence, trying to process the inexplicable occurrence. I checked my call logs, but there was no record of the conversation. And when I listened to the recording, all I heard was an empty void, devoid of any sound. The following night, the phone rang again at 9 p.m., the screen displaying the same unknown number. Trembling, I answered, steeling myself for the surreal conversation that awaited me. "Hello, darling," her voice whispered through the line. "I missed you, my sweet child." Questions swirled in my mind, but I pushed them aside, allowing myself to bask in the fleeting moments of connection with my deceased mother. We spoke about life, death, and everything in between, as if the boundaries of existence had blurred into a seamless whole. As the calls became a nightly ritual, I grew accustomed to conversing with my mother's spectral presence. It brought me solace amidst the chaos of the living world, a bridge between the tangible and the intangible. But with each passing night, a sense of foreboding crept into my heart. The boundary between the living and the dead should never be crossed, and I feared the consequences of this unnatural communication. One fateful evening, as the clock struck 9 p.m., the phone rang with an urgency that sent shivers down my spine. I hesitated, my hand hovering over the answer button, a premonition of impending doom gnawing at my resolve. Against my better judgment, I picked up the call. Silence greeted me, a deafening void that echoed with a chilling emptiness. I called out for my mother, but there was no response, only an eerie stillness that enveloped me in its icy embrace. And then a whisper, so faint yet unmistakable, brushed against my ear. "It's time to let go, my child. Our bond cannot linger in this realm any longer." Tears welled up in my eyes as I clutched the phone, a surge of emotions overwhelming me. I whispered, "I love you, Mom. I'll never forget you." And with that, the line went dead, the connection severed, leaving me alone in the dark solitude of my room. In the days that followed, I no longer received the nightly calls from my mother. The silence weighed heavy on my soul, a reminder of the transient nature of life and death. But amidst the grief and the loss, I found a newfound sense of peace, a closure that transcended the boundaries of mortality. My mother's phantom calls had served their purpose, to soothe my aching heart and guide me towards acceptance and healing. As I gazed at the stars twinkling in the night sky, I whispered a silent thank you to the ethereal presence that had lingered in my life, a guardian angel watching over me from beyond the veil of existence. And in that moment of quietude, I felt a gentle breeze caress my cheek, a whisper of love and farewell that echoed in the depths of my soul. My mother's spirit had found its peace, and I, in turn, had found mine.